Yours, Michael.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. I'm Mike Estridge, Marketing Manager for TechWorx out of Erie, PA. So a little bit about TechWorx before we get started. TechWorx is a managed service provider, or MSP. Essentially, that's a fancy way of saying we act as your internal IT department, or if you don't have one, and if you do have one, an extension of your IT department. So we focus on three areas. Those main areas are infrastructure, cloud, and security. And we are a fully transparent company, meaning that if you do business with us, we partner with you and give your organization full access to your documentation, passwords, anything that we put together for you or you have internally. We make sure that that's shared with your organization. We're thrilled to have Abby here today presenting on Teams. She'll be sending out a slide deck after the presentation. And as she mentioned earlier, the webinar is recorded. And we'll also be reaching out to you after the event to get some feedback and see if you need any further assistance. So with that, thank you, Abby.
Great. Thank you so much. So during the presentation today, we're going to be giving away some prizes for active participation. And so the first thing I want to do is I want to see the very first person turn on their camera. Microsoft Teams is all about being relatable and seeing each other. And show me your coffee mug. So the first person that I can see in my window, say hello, all right, and show me your coffee mug. You're going to go ahead and win a prize. Perfect.
Hello.
So Jared Johnson, welcome. This is great. It's so great to see your faces. I work with kids all day, or I work with not kids, clients all day, but my kids are in my home, as most of you probably have your kids in your home as well. And so this really is the only adult interaction I get. So thanks for joining. So we're first going to go ahead and start talking a little bit before we get into Teams about how the world has changed. And I'm on day 30 of quarantine, unsure of how many days you all are sitting in quarantine, which means that I'm working at home and I have my kids at home and my kids are doing distance learning. And through distance learning, they're exploring the internet, writing book reports. I'm on the internet, and I have another adult in my house on the internet as well. And so we really had to think about how are we protecting ourselves so that our company information isn't being taken by a potential hacker or threats or viruses. And so we actually had to put our kids on a different network because kids will explore and touch everything. And so Microsoft 365 has actually been designed, and it's a great coffee mug up there in the corner, has been designed to help protect you no matter where you're at. And now that we're more of a mobile workforce, we need to think about that more than ever. So you can see here, 58% of the breaches take place in small businesses. Hackers are going after everything these days with scams and everything across the board. On average, it costs a small company about $120,000 and up to recover from a breach. And a lot of people don't know about those security risks that are out there. You're really lucky to have TechWorx on your side. So I want to talk a little bit about a new product Microsoft has before we go ahead and get into the Teams presentation. And it's called Microsoft 365 Business. It's affordable for you so that you can really focus on what's important. And that's, helping your customers, helping your company grow, while helping with security as well. So you can see Microsoft 365 Business includes productivity, so things you're already used to, such as your Office applications, email, Exchange. But it also includes advanced security, such as external threat protection. If you're on Windows 7, Windows 10 upgrade is already included with the product. So that's a big cost savings for you. It also includes internal data leak prevention. We have to be so careful with our sensitive data and our data across our organizations that this product actually helps you there. And device management. We're working from home. Maybe some days you don't work from home when this pandemic isn't going on and you're in a bus or an airplane or you're taking a train to work. If you were to lose your phone or your computer or your laptop, this would actually help to ensure that everything on that machine stays safe. In sales, I'm on an airplane 75% of the time when I'm able to be out in the field. So everything I do is on my cell phone. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how that's possible today. Okay. So if we look across the board, we can actually help you simplify and save money. Third-party solutions, you could have up to 17 different solutions in your environment, and probably you're spending about $100 a month per solution or across the board. With Windows or Microsoft 365 Business, you can drastically reduce that overall spend, and TechWorx can help you do that. So this is just some stuff to think about before we dive into Microsoft Teams. All right, so if you have any questions, I like to be very interactive, so you can take yourself off of mute, put your information in the chat window, and now we're going to go ahead and get started. So Microsoft Teams is the #1 used collaboration product in the world right now. There are 46 million daily active users. 650 customers have over 10,000 users or more. It's spoken in 53 different languages, and it's supported, which is really cool. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how this could be beneficial to you. And 93 of the Fortune 100 companies use Teams. This is a really cool statistic because they're using it 100% in its entirety, from telephony to collaboration, everything across the board. And it's also in 181 different markets. And a really cool statistic that I just got on Monday was that there's over 2.2 billion meeting minutes being used per week, meaning that people are trusting the platform because Microsoft Teams is an encrypted, secure platform, meaning that your data is not going anywhere. And that's pretty cool. If you're finance, if you're a hospital or a doctor, it's HIPAA compliant, it's FERPA compliant for education. So you can know and trust that your information is being safe and secure. So when we think about transforming the workplace, here's a bunch of statistics. I think we're in such a different world right now. There was a point in time when they thought by the end of 2020, 75% of the workforce would be working from home at least once per week. Right now, it's about 90% of the workforce that are able to work are working from home because of the pandemic. And we had to move so quick to Microsoft Teams or to a collaborative platform that we really weren't thinking. We just had to do at that point in time. If you enable Teams across the board, you can actually save 4 hours per week of collaboration time and being able to find additional resources and actually put that time to projects that are going to help your company and your customers. So what is Microsoft Teams? Microsoft Teams is the hub for teamwork. It has chat and collaboration, meetings and callings, and apps and workflow. And we're going to go ahead and go into a live demo. I don't want to bore you with slides because you're probably already falling asleep. It's pretty early. And this is the time for us to get interactive. And I'm working off of 3 screens. All right. So when you went into Microsoft Teams, and can everybody see my screen okay? Just a couple yeses. Are we doing good here, Michael? Yes, perfect. Awesome. So yes. Perfect. This is Microsoft Teams. In Microsoft Teams, when you entered, you went right into a meeting. And I like to start right in the meeting environment because this is what you're familiar with. We've been sitting here already for about, 15 minutes or so. So on the bottom, you can see that this is the meeting bar. This is where everything happens and you can control it. We're able to see 4 different windows of participants and the additional participants at the bottom. If we had our cameras on, we'd be able to see the 4 people that have spoken. Microsoft is moving to 9 windows, probably within the next 30 days. And you're probably thinking, well, why not more? Zoom has more. And I've heard this, trust me, over and over again. But it has been scientifically proven that the brain can only look at 9 images and really focus and pay attention at one time. And so Microsoft wanted to make sure that when you're in a meeting, you're in that meeting and you're focusing, hence the reason for the 9 windows. Here at the bottom, you can see the camera. You can turn the camera on or off. You have your mute button. So if you are speaking or need to put your mute button on, feel free to do that. I know if you're making noise because around the circle here, it'll actually turn purple. Microsoft is coming out with some new enhancements, which I'm pretty excited about. They're going to eliminate side noise, so you won't be hearing people click-clacking on their keyboard anymore, and you won't be hearing Fluffy bark in the background. It's actually going to eliminate that, so you can be more focused on your meetings. And I'm super excited because I'm not going to hear YouTube on the channel or on my TV anymore when my kids turn it on when they wake up in the morning. Here is where you share. So you can share your desktop. Please don't click it because you're going to try to take over the meeting. But you can also share documents. So if you wanted to share just a platform, such as PowerPoint, etc., you're going to be able to do that through here. So that is something that you're going to want to play with later. You're also going to be able to take control of somebody's computer through here. So let's say we're working remote. I could actually give control to somebody in the meeting if they needed to share something with me. Or I could request control of your computer. Now here is where you're able to have all of the settings for your meeting. Here's the device settings where I'm able to test my audio devices, my speakers, my microphones, and even my camera. So here at Ingram, I need to use different platforms. So I test my Surface camera, a Jabra camera, or even a Poly camera on different bases. And I can switch between those depending on the meeting environment that I'm in. The next, I can show the meeting details. Sometimes I might show up late to a meeting and I need to get in. I can look at the meeting details here or give this and copy this information to my coworkers, for example. I can enter into full screen. When I do that, you can see that all of the apps that are in my bar on the bottom disappear. I'm going to go ahead and get off of that though. And then one thing that can happen is nice is background blur. So if you can see the Fargo sign up above my head, I'm actually able to blur my background. Oh my gosh, it updated. This is so exciting. This is brand new today. So I can blur my background and apply it. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited, you guys. Like I had no idea this was here till just now. So I can apply that. You can see my background blur. But now, I used to work at Microsoft, so I knew these were here. I can actually put myself in a boardroom. How cool is that? So nobody will be able to come in behind you. 3 weeks ago, one of my twins came in naked. I kid you not. I was so embarrassed, and I had forgot to put my background blur on because that's all I had. So this is pretty cool. You're able to choose different backgrounds. Eventually, I know you're going to be able to upload your own photo. So we're going to go ahead and pretend I'm in a boardroom today. So we're going to apply that. I'm super excited. I had no idea that was released today. That's how fast Microsoft changes. On the bottom, I can also turn on live captioning. And so we're going to go ahead and close out of here. And you can see live captioning is going to show up in words on the bottom of your screen. Now, this is really cool because we don't know if people are hard of hearing or if the speaker is talking super, super, super fast. It's going to translate everything to you. So if, let's say, Dave, come off of speakerphone or off of mute and say something real quick. It's going to translate to
something.
Something. Awesome. That is so great. So, see, we can go back and forth, and what's really cool is I was talking with a partner and a customer the other day who actually speaks Dutch and does not translate very well into English. So everything that person was saying to me actually translated down below from Dutch to English. So this helps us to have a better communication back and forth as well if we have global customers. So it's pretty cool at the end of the day. Thanks so much, Dave. Dave, you get a mug for helping us out. So Michael, go ahead and mark that down as well. All right, so you can tell I'm pretty excited about this background here and the inclusiveness of being able to see the speech. Another reason why we turn on our cameras, and we'll talk about that for a minute, is so that we can do business quicker. We're able to gain rapport. When I worked at Microsoft, I was part of the leadership team, and I sit in Fargo, and the leadership team with the vice president sits in Dallas, Texas. And we would have a conversation every Monday. They would be laughing, a group of 15 or so of them. I would say something, cameras weren't on, they would laugh, and I would think to myself, gosh, was I not prepared enough? And I would kind of like go into my inner self and not be very confident. And so I finally said, hey guys, can you turn on the camera? And the minute we turned on the camera, we became closer as a team because we could read facial expressions. We could be a part of the conversation and not feel like an outsider. So having that camera on can truly help with that relationship. As I tell my peers here at Ingram, is like, I don't care if your hair's not done, you don't have any hair, you didn't put any makeup on, just turn it on and let's have a real conversation together. All right. So the next thing here is the keypad. So if we needed to, in this meeting, we could dial somebody in. We're able to stop the recording and the meeting and also turn off incoming video. Okay, so those are some of the settings. Over here on the right-hand side, you can see the chat. And we're going to go through chat in a whole different way. So I'm not going to go in depth here with you yet. But you are able, you should have all of this functionality down here to do the meeting. Here you're able to see everybody who's in the meeting. We currently have 72 people present. If I minimize this, I can see others who are invited. And then it will show you if you're the organizer, who accepted, and so forth. Okay? And then here's where you hang up. So that is the meeting environment. I'm going to go back to chat because it looks like we have a question. How do you, it would be 4 people because whoever speaks would be showing up in that 4x4 window. Okay. All right, up here on the right-hand side is where your presence awareness happens. So you can see that I'm presenting, but if you're in a normal day-to-day meeting and you're not presenting, etc., you're going to see available, busy, do not disturb, right back, be right back, and appear away. Now, being remote, this is important because if we need to talk to our peers or maybe people outside of our organization, this is going to help us understand when we're able to talk to them. I know some people like to be on busy all the time. It's still okay to ping them and maybe try to type a message, but just be cognizant that you should probably be trying to change that. Okay, here you can set your status. If you wanted to do like a personalized one, it'll stay there. Otherwise, it will go ahead and take directly from your Outlook out of office message. It's going to put that right here. So no matter what platform you're in, you're able to tell if your peers are out of office. Here are your settings. So I like to be in dark mode for my eyes. It also saves energy on my machine. And then you can go ahead and click what you would like to have opened. The settings are all personal to you. Most of the time they are not controlled by your admin. Privacy, you're able to manage your priority access. What this means is if you're on Do Not Disturb, but you know that no matter when your boss sends you a message they need to get through, you can add them here. You can also block contacts and add read receipt. Read receipt is great because you know when somebody's read your message. And then you don't need to keep going back and forth. Maybe they're researching something for you. The surveys part comes from Microsoft. It'll ask you, how was your call quality? And you can go ahead and answer those. So it's up to you if you want to put that on there. Here's your notification settings. I recommend that you play with this. If you have some questions, we can go ahead and kind of show you best practices. But I like mine this way. I like my notes to come up over here on the right-hand corner when I have a new message so that I can attain to it. Here's where you can add your different devices and test your camera. Permissions are here that you'll want to set. I always just leave everything on. And then calls. If you have telephony, you're able to set up your call rules here as well. Okay. Questions so far? All right, now we're going to get into the fun. And it looks like my my thing went off because I changed it. So Over here on the right-hand side is your activity section. And Michael, I'm not going to be able to see the questions, so if there are questions, please let me know. This is your feed. If you wake up in the morning and you lay in bed and you look at your notifications on Facebook, this is sort of the same thing. You're going to be able to see when you were pinged in a meeting, you can see that Aaron reacted to my message. You can see when somebody tags you in a message, etc. You also have your activity. So you're able to see everything that you worked on, okay? So if I needed to search to see what I last posted, I can go ahead and look through here, which is nice. You're not going to be going to do a lot of searching. The next is chat. Now, you can tell right now that we are in our event. Our event is right here. I'm going to go ahead and pin it to the top by clicking these 3 links, meaning it's going to be easier for me to get to it. You can see I have a couple pinned conversations that I'm in every single day, okay? So here in the chat, there's a bunch of things you can do, but I'm going to go ahead and actually just start a group chat. So I'm going to go ahead and start a group chat, and a group chat is with 2 or more people. So I'm going to start one with Aaron, and I'm going to start one with Joey. Okay. Now, you can see that they've been a part of a group chat before, but this is a new one. We're working on a project for TechWorx. Okay. So this customer conversation is different, and I want to be able to keep track of it. So I'm going to go ahead down below. You can see that it was named TechWorx Customer Demo. This is going to make it searchable for me later. Hello. Okay. After you type your first sentence, you're able to pin it. I'm going to go ahead and pin it. Perfect. So this is saved here. Now we're going to be working on this customer demo project for a long time. And so this is why I named it TechWorx Customer Demo, and I pinned it. When I do a group chat, I know that a project could be going on for like up to 3 months. You can see that this IC partner discussion actually started all the way back in January. This discussion started with 2 people and ended up with 21 people because I kept adding people to help me with my project. Now, if we go back to here, you can see that Aaron is typing. Down below, you're able to format the message. I'm able to bold it, italics, underline. I can even put it in paragraph form and insert links if I wanted to. Okay. The next one is the delivery option. I can make it standard, important. It's going to say important. And when I hit send, it'll actually show up in the activity feed as important as well. Okay. I can also change it to urgent. Now, urgent, please use it sparingly. I don't want you to get fired. But urgent will actually ping a recipient every 2 minutes for 20 minutes until they answer your instant message, okay? Now you're probably thinking, I'm going to go ahead and annoy my coworkers with this, but it really does have a purpose. Let's say you're a network engineer and you're out in the field and you're in charge of the 911 lines and the fiber was cut. We're going to need to be able to get to that engineer to go look at that fiber as soon as possible. Or if you're a doctor and you're on floor 5 and you need to get to floor 3 because a patient is coding, you're still going to hear it over the intercom, but it's a great way to create urgency within the business. I'm going to go ahead and take this off because I don't, thanks Aaron, I don't want to annoy my coworkers. Here as well, I'm also able to collaborate with Aaron. So I'm going to go ahead and upload a doc from my computer. Okay. And now Aaron and I are going to be able to actually collaborate real time. And this is how we get time back, right? If you have ever been that person to send an email back and forth with an Excel spreadsheet, PowerPoint, or Word for editing or documentation, mistakes can happen. So through Microsoft's products, online products, we're actually able to have real-time collaboration happen. So Aaron and I are both going to go ahead and go into this document. And now we're in here. I know Erin is in this document because her little circle showed up here over in the corner. Now, Erin and I are actually going to be able to edit it at the same time. And I know that Erin will be in here and editing it based upon the color. So see, she just changed it, lovely squares. And so we're both editing this document at the same time. This is great, especially if you're in marketing or sales. You can work on customer projects and bids all at the same time to make sure things are where they need to be. Okay. Now, let's say I don't want to edit it in Microsoft Teams, I can actually open it in my desktop app. Okay, and this is going to go ahead and open, so you'll be able to see that. Now, wherever I go, see, Erin followed me. So she's over here as well. So Erin, if you want to go ahead and just type up below customer project, that would be great. Okay, and I can actually go to this slide and edit a different slide at the same time. So I can take away things that would be maybe not so beneficial to the project. Okay? So you can see if I save this, and you want to make sure when you're collaborating that you're not saving locally. And what I mean by locally is if you go up to this left-hand corner, you're going to see a save button with a circle. This means that it is still saving to my teams in the cloud. If you were to do save as and save it locally, collaboration stops there. And so it's super important to understand that this circle needs to be present. Okay? And you can see she is updating as we go. I'm going to go ahead and save this and actually leave her. And when I go back into Microsoft Teams, it's going to go ahead and update on the fly.
So Abby, there's a quick question.
Yeah.
If someone does not have Teams, is there any way for them to view anything on a meeting? Could they still join and listen in or be able to see anything, or they need to have Teams to be able to do that?
Nope, you would just go into the web browser if you were not a part of the environment, and you would still be able to see everything. You just wouldn't be able to collaborate. Okay, that's a great question. All right. So we're going to go back here, and you're going to be able to see that she edited it, and you can see things were updated. Discuss changing project to tacos. Tacos are good. Okay, perfect. You're right. Everybody does love Taco Tuesday. So that is a little bit how the collaboration part works. We're going to go back into the demo. Here you can have a little fun. You can add in emojis. You can add in GIFs. Erin already did one. So we're going to go ahead and put this in there. Clean your phone, absolutely. And we can even add in a little humor. So she wrote in, you can see this one says, oh yeah, she wrote in, I love demos. We can actually caption it. Hello, it's snowing again in Fargo. Absolutely it is. Why not? So we can go ahead and change that and have a little fun. Now, the next one is really cool because, you know, I always had to go to my Outlook before to schedule a meeting. You don't have to do that anymore. We're already in this environment of chat. We can go ahead and click schedule a meeting directly from our chat. We're working in a project already. All I had to do was click that calendar button. I know Erin is busy because she's a different color and Joey is free. I can title it here. I can repeat it here and do a recurring meeting where we meet daily for 15 minutes. So I can change that if I wanted to. And then because it's built directly into Microsoft Teams, it's already going to put the link there for you. You don't need to drop it down. I can also go to scheduling assistants to see if they're free or busy, and it's going to show me that here. Okay. If I go back to details, I can add a channel, which I'll show you in a little while of how that works, and then even add a location. So it's nice that we can actually create a meeting directly from our chat. I'm not going to send that, though, because I don't want to annoy them, but it will show up in your Teams calendar, and it will show up in your Outlook calendar. Okay. Now, the next part that is really cool is stream. Now, one thing that's super cool about Microsoft, again, it's encrypted. You're not saving anything locally to your cell phone. Your cell phone, if it were to get lost, you're not going to have company data floating out there, right? You're getting people maybe off of WhatsApp onto one platform. And so one of the things that I love, and I use this all the time when I'm out in the field with customers, is that I'll create a video. And so you can see I have Microsoft Teams on my phone. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to click right into the conversation. And you can see it's the same conversation that I'm having on my computer. If I click the picture button on the side down here, if you don't have Microsoft Teams installed on your phone, I recommend that you do it. I can click camera. And on the camera functionality, it's going to give me a bunch of options, such as photo, document. No longer do you need to scan your documents. You can actually use the document picture taker in Teams, and it's going to show up even better if you were to scan it. If you're in a conference and you need to get a whiteboard picture, it'll actually sharpen the image for you. Awesome, Jeremy. That's great. And business cards as well. So I'm going to go ahead and actually do a video. I'm out in the field. The fiber is cut. I need to send a video back exactly what happened. It actually has to go to the police department as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just take a video in my office. Okay. You can see the video. You can even see the snow that happened last night. I'm going to go ahead and push stop. And I can send this directly to the chat that I'm in with my team. And you're going to be able to see this pop up on the bottom. And we're going to be able to open it up. Super fast. We're getting resolution. Okay, so that's really great. We're able to get resolution, real-time video, even customer testimonials, etc., across the board, and upload them directly to our chat. Let's see, I see another question. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to go back to here. You can praise a coworker, so you can, just select and praise. You're able to insert project tools. So like I have Trello included. You can put in the weather if you wanted to, right into the conversation. And I don't know why I live in North Dakota. And you have YouTube and other projects and forms that you're able to put in, including surveys. So those are just some of the cool functionality that is included with Microsoft Chat. Now earlier, we've been going in this conversation for a while. Let's say it's been a couple of weeks, and I knew we were working on a document together. I don't want to have to be able to scroll through everything to find that document. All I really need to do is click on Files, and everything we've worked on in a file format is saved directly here for you. So I'm able to go back in and edit as I need to. Okay? Up in the right-hand corner, let's say I needed to add additional people to the meeting. I can actually do this here by clicking Add People. So I'm going to go ahead and add my manager, but not really. I can go ahead and click Include Chat History, include history from the past number of days, or include all of the history. This is great because if this has been going on a long time, he's going to be able to read our conversation to get caught up quickly on the project. I can call people directly from here or share my screen or even do a video call on the fly, which is a great feature as well. Questions so far? My kids just blared the TV, so I need to tell them to turn it down.
I'm not seeing any questions pop up.
Okay, great. Sorry, I just had to send a message so that they could turn the TV down. Gotta love working at home with twin boys who are 6. Perfect. So this is chat. Some great functionality there. Also within chat, if we know we're working on this for a while, we're able to add in additional apps. So if I wanted to, I could include that PowerPoint presentation that we had been working on as a tab. Okay, and so that PowerPoint presentation will show up here so that every day we can go in there and actually check our progress. So that's pretty cool. Microsoft has over 440 different certified approved apps that are in there, some free and some paid, in order to help you become more effective in your roles. Okay, perfect. So we're going to go ahead and move over to Teams. This Teams part, you can see that I have a bunch of different teams that I'm a part of. Now, a Microsoft team, I'm going to go ahead and click on this demo, is set up as follows. So you can see here that the name of the team is the Healthcare Teams Demo. That is the team. That's where all of your channels sit. And your channels are actually the parts that sit below. So if we look here at General, you can see that everybody who's a part of the team is included in General. The General tab does not go away. So you can use General for company messaging, information that everybody needs to know on a daily basis, documents, etc. So you can see in this General tab for this Healthcare Teams demo site that I have included a bunch of different items. Here's my files that my team might need to know. My email messages that I have sent from Outlook to Teams is included here. You can see my OneNote is here, and then even a PowerPoint is how I've started it for a demo. There's the wiki here where you can do, like, let's say, use it as your company meeting notes. I have the company website is located here. Okay, so I don't have to go anywhere. If I needed to log in and do my time card, I could do that here as well. I can do Microsoft Planner here. So if I am rolling out a plan and Microsoft Planner is included with Teams, I could actually add a task here and assign it to someone. So this would be, let's say we're at a group home, shovel the sidewalk. At a due date for today, I'm going to go ahead and assign it to Joey or Eddie, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and add that task. This is going to send an email to Joey and also show up in Teams that he needs to go shovel the sidewalk. Once it's complete, all he needs to do is go ahead and then click this, and then it's going to be completed. Microsoft Planner actually gets super extensive. You can add new buckets, new rows, new columns, and actually see the progression of your project. You can also see that I have a OneNote set up here. This is where all of your notes and everything can come into a OneNote. And I'm going to go ahead and show you actually how I use OneNote in my field team resources. Okay. So I'm on the road 75% of the time when I'm able to travel. And anytime I get an important document in my email, I like to put it into OneNote so that I have it on the fly. Now, you can see here that I have all of my notes that could ever be possible for my partners. So I have all my questions can be answered. And it goes directly into OneNote. I use my OneNote on my desktop. So we'll go ahead and show you this here. And you can see that all of this is here as well. Now, a really cool way to stay synced is to use the OneNote button in Outlook. So I got an email from Dave, reach the right people faster with tags in Microsoft Teams. If I click OneNote and click on my Teams blog posts and click OK, it's going to bring that article right to the bottom of the blog post, which coincides directly with Microsoft Teams, so I never lose any of the information that I need to. After a quick formatting, it's ready to be read by my partners. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and show you a couple other apps I use in Microsoft Teams. So I can log in directly to my company website. I could log into Dynamic CRM for keeping track of my pipeline. And let's see, there it goes. So it's going to log me directly in. I can go to my home intranet site. I even have my travel calendar, which is built in SharePoint. This is great if you have a sales team or a team and you want to see their PTO, you can actually build that in so everything is located in one location. I have my Bing search engine in here as well. I don't want to have to open up anything else. And then I also have, I use a wiki for my partner training items. Okay, questions so far on Teams? Cool. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how to set up a team and how easy it is. So down below, you can join or create a team. When you create a team, you can either join one that's already been made, or you can create a team, and it's pretty fast. I'm going to go ahead and build this team from scratch. I want this team to be public because anybody in my company can join it. So I'm going to go ahead and name it Demo Account, okay, and click Create. Nice work. See how quick that was? It's going to ask me to invite people to join the team right away. So I'm going to go ahead and just include Erin and add Erin. When I add Erin, I can either add her as a member, meaning she doesn't have admin rights, or an owner, where she can actually help me author the site. So Erin's going to go ahead and be an owner, and then I can close it. You can see at the bottom here that it has been created. The general tab is open. Now, if I wanted to actually invite more people to the team, and let's say I had 500 people in my company, I can get the link to the team, copy this, and put it in an email and say, please join this team. This is easier than adding distribution lists or people individually. I can, up here, I can add a channel. So now in this demo account, I want to add in finance. Finance is a secret though, right? We don't want everybody to know what our financial numbers look like, so I can make this a private account and click next. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and skip that. You can see that finance, only people invited to this channel because it has a lock on it are going to be able to see it anywhere within the company. So as you add it, the people that are invited are only going to be able to contribute to it. Right? And then you can even, what's really cool is, let's say we wanted to send an email to the channel. I'm going to go back up to the top here because that one takes a couple minutes to provision. If I wanted to, I could actually send an email directly to my general tab. So what I'm going to do is click and copy here, go into my email and start a new email, put this here. And this is nice. Let's say you have a NOC or a training center or manufacturing plant and you want people just to email the team site so that you can communicate with them. You can give them this email address. I'm going to go ahead and do test. Is there a question?
There's a question. What's the maximum number of people who can be a part of a team or a meeting?
So a meeting is 250 people. Live meeting is 10,000. I think right now Microsoft has it at 100,000 just because of what's going on. A team, I think I have to get back to you on that, but I know it's in the hundreds, if not thousands. Great question. So you can see when I emailed that email actually went directly into my team. So you're probably thinking, well, why is that important? And it's important because now I don't have to go back and forth on email. And some people will forget to reply all, and that's annoying because then everything gets lost. Here I can actually reply with my team, and we can go back and forth and communicate until we find a resolution for that email that was sent. Once we find the resolution, we can view the original email directly in the team site and respond to the person who sent it. So this is a great way for us to be able to communicate back and forth. Okay. So there, that email popped back up again. All right. Perfect. I don't know. I think I'm getting fished right now. And if we didn't want this email here, we can go ahead and actually delete this right here. So you just click the three buttons and click delete. And it didn't work. Just one moment. And then it'll be taken away. And you have the ability to delete in any chat that you have as well. Delete for yourself, not for the other people who chatted. Now back down in this team account, I don't need this demo account anymore, so I can actually delete the team. But know that you're not really deleting all the information. You're going to want to make sure you set it up in your admin portal with TechWorx that have a retention policy for your documents. Sometimes employees leave companies and they feel like they can delete everything. It's really not working at the end of the day. Okay. Questions so far on Teams? And I know it's a high-level overview, but it's really great when you really sit down and you plan out your Teams environment. It can be really effective by department. There's even templates for manufacturing and marketing and finance of things of how you should set it up, and TechWorx can help you there. Okay?
Okay, a couple questions.
Sure.
If you're remote into your work computer.
Guide somewhere on?
Oh, I think two people are talking.
Okay, let's go ahead.
Is there a user guide that's available?
Yep, there's a bunch of training. So when we go ahead and do the recap email to all of you, we'll go ahead and get you some trainings that are like 5-minute snackable videos to help you. If you're remote into your work computer from home, can you use Teams? As long as that Teams environment is set up in your remote environment, you should be able to. Mm-hmm. Anyone in a company can see and post to a public team, but only those invited will see and post to private channels. Yep, that is correct. And you'll know if you're in a private channel, not everybody will be able to see those posts. Okay, any other questions before I move on? These are great questions. Now here's the calendar. You're going to see how busy my days are, and I just like to be transparent. Here you can start a new meeting just like we did before, right, from our chat. This is the same format, so we would be able to add everything here. Now let's say I was the owner of a sales team, and I want to make sure that my notes, my video, everything shows up in that sales team on a daily basis. So what I'm going to be able to do is actually I'm going to choose general, and now this Teams meeting is going to show up in that channel every week. And so the link will be there. It'll still show up on your calendar, but everybody who is a part of that team is going to be invited. So I don't even need to invite them because they're already included as part of that team. And then again, the meeting link will be included. So that's just the one additional thing I wanted to show you there. This Teams and channels is great. If you wanted to invite the whole company, if you had a whole company team, all you had to do was click into that channel and it would be there and saved as well. Okay. You can also do a meet now. I'm not going to click meet now because I'll drop from this meeting, but you can do that. I like to do the meet now by myself when I'm doing videos, and I'll record my videos there by myself in meet now, and then I'll be able to upload them from stream. So some cool things. The telephony portion of it, you can see here that I have my speed dials available, suggested contacts. I have additional contacts here that I might use. I can even add contacts. You're going to be able to see my history, my outgoing calls, missed calls, etc. And then my voicemail will also be set up here. If I have a voicemail, it will also transcribe to my Outlook. And what's really cool, if they're internal, I don't even have to call the person back. I can just reply via email because I've already read what they told me. And then down below, Microsoft Teams has incorporated it, so it works like a telephone system. You don't need to have a separate telephone provider, or you could direct route your telephone line directly into Teams, so everything is in one location. Okay. Next part is files. Because Ingram is built in a virtual world through OneDrive, I never lose a document. And so you can see everything that I've worked on, even on my desktop, is included here. Microsoft Teams, these are the ones I've directly worked on Microsoft Teams on, and it takes a minute to load. And then my cloud storage for OneDrive. Now OneDrive is all of my personal documents, ones I haven't shared. So those are private, just as a clarification. You can also see here on the left-hand side that I have applications that I use, such as OneNote. I can go to my OneNote here versus going into a team. Everything is located here. And then recently I've started to use Shifts. So if you have scheduling or things that you need to do, you can have your schedule here and shifts. And I'm just doing some testing here. So you're able to do sharing of schedules, etc. So Microsoft Teams is endless. That ends the demo portion of it. Are there any questions? And I'm sure there'll be a lot, so feel free to come off of speakerphone, show your face, and happy to walk you through anything we might have missed. And we have 3 prizes to give away, so that's always fun if you want to try to win a prize. 3 left. Can you record a video of your screen with your voice to send to someone who does not have a microphone? With your voice. I think if you were to do the translation like we're doing, so let me go ahead and bring this up. And on the bottom, you're able to see everything that's typed out. They would still be able to see you, and then you would have the live caption at the bottom. Great question.
I'm not able to put a chat in, but I have a question, and that is between owner and member. Tell me again, what are the differences in terms of capability?
Yep. So an owner of a team is like the admin. They're able to take the team down, make changes, approve people who request to join. A member is somebody who is just a contributor. Yeah. And you can actually set those permissions as well in the admin portal, because maybe you want a team where just information is posted, but you don't want people to reply. You're able to do that as well. It's a great question. That was Jeff, Michael. One more prize. It looks like Will as well responded. Anything additional or questions?
I have a question. I noticed my chat is grayed out. It says only team members can chat. Ask the team owner to make you a member. Is the reason we can't chat because we're not a member of your local team?
So that would be Tom, do you have Microsoft Teams deployed directly within your company?
Yeah, we're using it minimally.
Okay, so that's an admin setting from your side. And so they would need to enable that when you join a meeting.
Okay.
Yep. So Tom got the last prize, but we're still open for questions. Is there a switch for gallery grid view during meetings? It seems my home Teams instance, but in my work instance, I can't get it to show grid view. Patrick, I don't think I understand your question. Do you want to come off of mute?
I was talking about, on your screen now you see 4 people, or 4, if we were showing video, it showed 4 video people at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a view that you can switch to, or does that happen automatically within Teams?
Yep, it should be an automatic view that shows up within Teams. So if it's not, you're going to want to talk to your admin to make sure that they have you set up correctly.
Thank you.
Yep.
I have a question regarding sometimes when I will start a Teams, it will ask me if I want to install the desktop version versus the online version. And as far as I know, I have the desktop version. Is there something that I need to do to let it know so it doesn't keep asking me the same question?
I haven't heard that one before. Do you see down here on the bottom, do you have that app on your bar, your taskbar?
Yes.
Okay. That could be an admin issue as well. Happy to tackle that with you and Mike with TechWorx after the call. If you want to set up a call, we can go ahead and look at that together. And I'm going to take that as a side note as well. Are you on a different computer when that happens, or is it the same machine?
Same machine. I guess I'm a little confused. We have Office 365, but it's loaded locally. But I'm not sure that when I'm executing Outlook, for example, because that Exchange server is on a cloud server, whether I'm running locally or not. I guess I'm confused as to how to ask the question.
Do they have you in a virtual environment, Jeff? A standard image deployed by your IT department?
No.
Okay. Mike, let's take that one offline and have a side conversation, and because we're going to need to look at it to see how it's installed.
Sounds good. We'll get that taken care of for you, Jeff.
Great. There was a question, too, from Sean. Would there be a way to collaborate together on an email response to clients throughout Teams? There absolutely is. And so, Sean, previously I had gotten the link for Teams. So we're going to go into my team here under this general tab. And if we wanted to, we could bring it directly to a team. Or if we needed to, we could actually take the email and go directly to an IM and reply all with an IM into Teams. And then we would be able to do the response. So it would just to determine, like, this isn't going to translate over. It's going to go to Dave. But I could say in response to your email, or copy paste the email here, and then we could go ahead and respond back and forth. But if I wanted to reply directly to the email, let's say I'm in a separate channel, I'm going to go ahead and just copy that email link here and then send that directly over to Teams where we could all collaborate on it as like a team, if that made sense. That was a great question. I'm going to go back into the meeting. Any additional questions?
Can you share multiple screens with Teams, or do you have to drag the other screens to one screen?
Yeah, right now it is just one screen, so you would have to be able to, you would just share the one, and you would pull it over. Or you can choose which screen you want to share, so if you click this box, and if I do it, you're not going to be able to see it, but, and I just stopped, but you can see that I can actually move you over to my other machine, and you can see here that I have the Teams open on my web browser as well, and this is how I'm running multiple instances. But it's super quick to move it around.
Okay.
Yep, great question. Okay. Any additional questions?
How would you, if I needed to send a chat to somebody else, like while we were in the middle of this meeting, how would I do that?
Mm-hmm. So you're still, oh, I love your background. Very cool. Okay, so let me show you quick. It doesn't matter if you're in this meeting, you're still going to be able to chat. So you can see here, I would just click chat. And it's not going to kick me out of this meeting. And then I can go ahead and send an email to, or a text to Aaron. So, hi. You can do that. Or what I like to do, because right now the pop-out window hasn't happened with Microsoft, it's coming. I tested it when I worked for them. Soon you're going to be able to have multiple pop-up windows with messages going at the same time. So what I like to do is actually have my web browser open with another instance of Teams running so I can go back and forth and I'm not disturbing my current environment. So it's a good tip and trick. I've actually had 6 Teams web browsers open while I've been on my desktop version and my cell phone going at the same time. So I'm a multitasker.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Your outfit even matches your background. That is so cool. Sorry, I'm just super pumped about it. Any other questions?
Regarding the phone app, does that give you all the same features that it does with the computer?
It does. So you can, on your phone, you'll be able to see and use everything that is like your desktop or your app because everything is connected. And I like to use my cell phone all of the time. So, yeah, it's awesome. I even make my phone calls for work through here because then I'm able to keep track of everything. So I think it should be mandatory for sales teams. Sorry, Erin, if you're on the call, but it's a way to create accountability. Yep. I have noticed if you join the meeting through Teams, it works fine and opens directly in the app. But if you open the meeting through Outlook, if it wants you to pick, you have to join via the web interface. Yeah, it does that, but you can automatically set it so it goes to your desktop app. It's just part of the admin portal. Perfect. Any other questions? All right. Well, Michael, I will let you wrap up, but thank you for joining me in Cold Fargo, North Dakota for this coffee talk on Teams, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll let Michael wrap up the call.
All right. Just want to thank everyone for joining us. I hope it was helpful. We're here to answer any other questions you have on Teams, and Abby, you did a great job, so thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks, you guys. Have a great day. I'm going to go ahead and quit recording. Thank you.